Hi everyone, I'm Joanna Linberg, home editor at Better Homes and Gardens, and today I'm talking to superstar designer, TV host, author, and designer of a homewares line available exclusively at Target, reader favorite, Nate Berkus. Nate, thank you so much for talking to me today.
It's my pleasure, Joanna. I'm happy to be here. How are you?
Good. Your book, The Things That Matter, just came out. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you tell me what you mean by that phrase and describe to our readers what they can find in that book?
Sure. So the book is actually a new way, hopefully, for people to look at interior decoration and design. There's so much information out there about design. I know you know this as a home editor. You're probably inundated with all this information, and your readers are as well. So what I wanted to do was create a book that got people thinking about how to only have things in their home that really resonate with them. Things in their home that really are important to them or that they feel a connection with. And it's very easy to say things about decoration. I've learned this in all my years on TV and doing makeovers on television. It's another thing to show people exactly what that means. And so the book, The Things That Matter, is a profile of 12 different interiors that I hand selected from across the country. And they have one thing in common. There's everything from a dance hall in Texas to a studio apartment in the village in Manhattan to my own home. The one thing that they have in common is that the spaces really tell the story of the people who live there. And what's great about that is that if you are able to do that for yourself, what that means is you are going to have a home that reflects exactly who you are or who you aspire to be. So the book's beautiful, it's fun to read, but it's not just about the spaces, it's about the people that live there and the stories of their lives as well.
So let's say I have a pretty blank house, which I do. I have the standards in place and I have a few things that I've collected and that I really love and that have meaning. But how do I pull them together so that they can tell a visual and personal story?
It's a great question. The easiest way when you have sort of bits and pieces, odds and ends of things that have meaning to you is to start assembling them together. Start a collection, start like things with like things. That doesn't mean you have to have a million salt and pepper shakers, but maybe those salt and pepper shakers that you have are vintage ceramic from the 1940s. So you can head out to flea markets and estate sales and auctions and online auctions and things like that and start collecting other things that are from that era or that sort of remind you of a memory, that bring that sort of nostalgia of what it was like sitting in front of those salt and pepper shakers at your grandparents' house. Better yet, family photos. It's such a great conversation starter with aunts and uncles that you may not see very often, grandparents, to ask them what their favorite memories are and what their keepsakes are. And sort of, you know, I'm notorious for this in my family. I'm really terrible. My brother and sister can't stand this about me. But I've asked for everything I like in my mother's house well in advance. People think I'm crazy, but I'm like, Mom, that tortoiseshell, it's coming. I can't help myself.
Nate, we asked our readers on Facebook if they had any questions for you, and Sharon Bailey Pedroja asked, Nate, what's your favorite way to display your travel photos?
Well, my all-time favorite way to display a travel photo is to actually blow it up so that it's 5 feet by 6 feet or 6 feet by 7 feet large in black and white, and do an entire wall with that as a big graphic image. If you have a place that you love or a place that you've been, or that photo represents to you a moment, you can remember every time you look at that exactly where you were standing and how you felt, then doing that in a modern white or black or dark brown wood frame, but having that blown up from online, from a photography studio, which are all over the country, into a huge piece of art and hanging that over the sofa or behind the dining room table is probably my favorite way of doing it.
Nate, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today. You are simply the best.
Thank you for doing this.